Yeah, so Liv, John Rahm saying at Augusta that's not even close to a merger. You had President Trump even mentioning how he's trying to help get this through.
Do you think this girl from Bud Light's going to help the merger?
No,
Push
but I
her
mean,
across the finish line?
Apparently not her, not
maybe,
hurting.
Maybe she's the one. That's why she was brought in. She was brought in to change the face of Bud Light, and now secretly she's on a secret assignment to push this thing over the finish line and make this merger happen.
I'll say you would think that she went to work for the PGA Tour, who totally screwed up the response to this by trying to make it about 9/11, and then in the darkness of night, turning around and going to try to strike a deal.
Good old Jay Monahan.
Yeah, I look at this and think that the merger is going to happen at some point. Apparently, it's not because the PGA Tour doesn't want the investment, which was like a $1.5 billion that they turned down, because Liv wants to still remain Liv. They want to bring in the team golf aspect of it. Going to have to do something like that because, I mean, Chad, I went to the Liv Golf event. It's tremendous out on the course. It's fun. I didn't think I was going to have that much fun with it. I thought it was gimmicky. It's way better than that. And they've got some of the best stars in the game today playing on their tour. It's very relaxed. It's fun. It's young. Going back to trying to capture the youth of America. It's young. It's in style. The way younger crowd than what you might expect. That we'd see at Augusta National this week, for instance.
Yeah, going back to the marketing person, I don't know what her role is going to be ultimately. I know it's about team marketing.
She's the team marketing.
For the different teams. So the PGA Tour though is still the brand, right? That's the one that's got preeminence, and we're talking about the Masters this weekend and those events. They have cachet. They have what it takes. Now Liv has the money and the backing with it, and maybe an interesting team concept also that I think is worth further exploring. I still think the best thing, and I'm talking as me, the golf fan, of what I'd like to see, is this merger, if it's going to happen at some point, to get done for Liv to basically be swallowed up by PGA while continuing some of these ideas that we need to explore further, like the teams. Have separate team events that are on the PGA Tour now, and you allow the Bryson DeChambeaus and John Rahms and those team owners, Sergio Garcia, guys we had on our show when we were at the Live event this past summer. You have those teams that are still a part of it, and suddenly now you have some other PGA Tour stars that have their own team or that join up with a team, or you do it by country or whatever. And then you have more team events because we love a good team event, especially when there's a patriotism involved. We love the Ryder Cup. We love President's Cup. We love these things that pit, different countries against each other. So further exploring that while not, I just don't think it's ever going to be a half and half thing. And I know that's easy for me to say because I'm not the one investing millions of dollars into the company and wanting something in return, right? If it's a merger with Liv and how much money they're going to pump into it. But I think the real value is to keep the PGA name, to keep all the premier events that you have, and then to replace some other events with team-type events that are Liv-related events. Go to some of the Liv courses they've been playing at, internationally and here in the United States. To me, that's the secret sauce to how this thing is successful and what I think is the most powerful of the branding of the two. Liv goes to back burner as the brand, but the Liv concepts and money come into the PGA Tour, and what the private investment fund has wanted all along, they get, which is a seat at the table. That's what they want. They want part ownership in golf.
Not just a seat, but they'll own it. I mean, they lost $400 million on the tour last year, which was reported, but still are able to turn around and say, "Hey, we'll give you $1.5 billion,"
right,
as they offer.
And when I say a seat at the table, I'm saying they couldn't originally just buy the PGA, so they started something that is a money loser for them, big time. Right now in Liv, and how much they're spending on golfers to participate in it and how much they spend on events. But they've forced the issue so much with how they can overpay that now they force the PGA Tour's hand to say, yep, you can play ball now. Oh, in fact, we need your money. We need you to go away so we get all of our players back too, and now you're part owner.
Well, I mean, what they did is they forced Jay Monahan to step back, and Rory McIlroy is even pissed off. He even did the about face.
Yep.
one of 4 events where you see Liv and PGA. They're together this week. The first time since last July with Augusta National and the Masters. I never physically laid eyes on an insect, a squirrel, or a bird whenever I was walking the 3 trips around Augusta National in 3 different years. Chad, did you see? I've never seen an animal or an insect on the grounds. Have you?
I was talking to someone that I actually go to church with who lived in Augusta for 3 years, and she was telling me her husband and their son went to Augusta on Monday for the practice round. They got completely washed out with rain. So they basically had to turn around and come right back.
Because the weather was great yesterday.
Yeah, and there's not like, oh, now you can go to Tuesday because they've sold tickets for Tuesday. So they get sometimes they give you a rain pass to come back the next year on Monday or whatever for practice round stuff. But she was telling me how they go to great lengths year-round to ensure that there's not an animal out of place, a blade of grass out of place, an insect out of place, a bee attack that's out of place for that event because it is so pristine.
Well, I mean, and I never saw, you don't see trash, you don't see a can, you don't see anything. Nothing. And the customer service is tremendous if you've never been.
Well, and going back to not seeing anything out of place, I remember we were with Paul on the trip with us, and he just threw ice out on pine straw.
Yeah.
And we all it was like a moment of silence where we all just looked down. We were talking to Austin Price of VolQuest.com on 3 Sports, who happened to be there that day too. It's a practice round, and he finished his drink, and just as one would, it's a warm day, it's going to melt, just threw his ice in the pine straw in between 2 holes, and we all stopped and paused and kind of looked like, should you have done that? Is that right? And even he thought,
Austin said he's not supposed to.
I violated a core principle of being allowed to be on this course by putting ice down that's going to melt right into the pine straw and not be an issue. But I did think, you probably should have just thrown that away.
No spitting.
Ice and everything. Yeah, no spitting. None of that at Augusta National. It truly is a remarkable experience. And I mean, if you go through, I've never been to Disney World, but I'm sure I will at some point with kids. But the process that they fine-tuned with different things at a place like that is incredible, right? We joke about Chick-fil-A and how they've mastered the drive-through to get you through quickly, no matter what. That customer service experience, I was talking about Disney.
Sorry, I was texting.
That's all right. That customer service experience at the Masters at Augusta is top-notch, incredible. Because those lines at every concession are so long, but you never wait. I never had one wait. I mean, you were running through. There are times where you're not ready to pay them. They're ready for your payment. You're like, hold on a second. Let me get my wallet out. Let me do.
You want foreign or domestic?
I mean, it's just, all right, $4 for the foreign beer, $3 for domestic. And then you're getting $1.50, egg salad sandwich, $1.50, pimento cheese sandwiches. I think it's $1.50 for barbecue, maybe $2 or $3.
We got the menu, I think,
for the barbecue sandwich also. It is remarkable how well-oiled of a machine Augusta National is for all the patrons. And it's hard. I know I talked to so many people who are like, man, that's on my bucket list. I want to go. I want to be there. And it's still hard to conceptualize what it's like, even explaining it. I bitched for years about Augusta National and the Masters not making everything available on television. And the response you get is just they're Augusta National. They do whatever the hell they want, right? They do whatever the hell they want because they're Augusta National. And then I went to it for the first time in 2017 or 2018, and I'm like, oh, now I get it. Now I get why they do what they want because it is so exceptional.